Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Afterglow. My name is Syya Yasotornrat.
And I'm Erin, Gregor.
We are the Dallas chapter chairs for Global Leaders Organization, and we are also founders of Innovation Media Enterprises. So, what are we recapping? We discuss the GLO speaker series that is weekly and highlight the awesome takeaways, lessons learned, and advice to speed us along our business and leadership journeys. This week, Shama Hyder, CEO of Zen Media, shared her insights on how she's tapped into successfully navigating the digital age for businesses. We've invited a special guest this week, not necessarily a GLO member, but I just had to ask to have her on. Her name is Harley Parks. She is the CEO of BearClaw Esports, president of Game On Korea, and a full-time student. Yes, I said student in high school. Harley is only 17 years old. Harley, welcome to Afterglow.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
So before we go into our discussion about Shama Hyder and digital, media, digital age, and how business can leverage all that, I want to talk about you a little bit because you're 17. You're freaking 17 years old, lady, and you started your own business and you have taken on a lot of leadership roles. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? How did you arrive at BearClaw Esports?
Well, so about a year ago, I was learning about the pandemic. 2019, I started seeing, in December, I was like, okay, this is going to get big, of how fast it's spreading. And I have been, playing competitive COD since, 2014, got into it around 2013. And I was like, you know what? If this goes on lockdown, this is like the prime time to get into esports, So I was prepared. I was already looking at the trends, already looking at what was happening. And so I decided to start up BearClaw in February of 2020. So it's actually just past a year now. And with BearClaw, I started out in Call of Duty. I went towards my passion, what I was doing since 2014, and from then just started opening up more teams and collaborating with other organizations. We gained a lot of traction really, really fast. Especially being a 17-year-old girl is unheard of in this industry, definitely. So a lot of people were like, "Oh my gosh, what's happening here?" So that was pretty crazy there, and then. Come around November, December timeframe, we pulled on a really good Valorant team. Sadly, there was a fallout, but we started to bring on even more teams. We gained a lot of recognition in this, like the Korean space. We gained a lot of recognition even in more spaces as well. So around the globe, actually, now currently we have top 8 regional PUBG teams out of Brazil, and we cover pretty much all of Latin America now. We are in FIFA for Europe. We have Super Smash Bros. In North America. We have Fortnite in North America. We have Call of Duty Academy teams. So we're pretty much covering everything and anything, which is really awesome. And because of what happened, in Korea and getting a lot of notoriety there, I was invited by the ASEAN Youth Organization and appointed pretty much the country president of Korea for Game On, which is the ASEAN Youth Organization's esports initiatives. From then on, then another couple esports organizations were, seeing news about me and really learning about me. And then I took on more leadership roles. I'm working with WHR Esports out of the Philippines as their esports consultant. I'm working with Medusa Gaming out of Malaysia as their esports consultant as well. And now I'm also working with Esports Future Eye out of Texas as kind of the jack of all trades esports consultant. So I'm taking on a lot of roles as well as still being a senior in high school. Sadly, I do have to graduate just a little bit late because, I've told my teachers I've put so much time into this. They do understand. So thankfully, it's not too bad. But yeah, there's a lot going on and a lot that I've taken in and learned. And that's where I am now.
God, I wish you were a little bit more of an achiever. Do you sleep? What's the...
Sleep is not in my dictionary.
Okay.
We're
sense.
Averaging like 4 to 5 hours a day. And then my parents are like, please go get some sleep. You need sleep. And that's mostly the weekends. I let the weekends be for sleep and a little bit of downtime, but I actually enjoy what I do. For me, it never feels like work. It's my passion. So it's always, it never feels like a day of work in my life.
I'm curious, what is driving you to take on all these, it's one thing to like get involved in the, you game, you love it. That's one thing, but what's driving you to take on all these leadership roles and really do more than just get involved, if that question makes sense?
Yeah. So my father being military, he would take on a lot of roles that were thrown at him, and I actually did the same. I've grown up in a military family. I was in JROTC. I was in the Civil Air Patrol. I was the first sergeant in my Civil Air Patrol, and I was taking on all these different roles there, working on the search and rescue team, doing a lot, really.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm trying to take someone back here how to get there. Sorry.
Don't worry. But yeah, so I mean, I was doing a lot of leadership roles in the Civil Air Patrol, a lot of leadership roles in my school. I was doing Cyber Patriot. I was the team leader there. So even when I was like 8, I was starting my own little business at the El Paso Humane Society, right? I did so much shop there as well. So I was doing a lot. I love, pushing for change, working with people, and really, leadership, taking on these leadership roles and learning as much as I can. I'm very keen to. So that's kind of why I want to do all this, get my, my foot in the sand, and even for the future generations that to come, I want them to have a nice space and a safe space really in esports, because a lot of young females or even younger kids have a hard time in the space and navigating it. So I kind of want to pave that way, so that way everyone has a smooth path in order in the future to go down and pursue their career.
Dang.
I'm like, Erin, I'm just like, here, why don't we just let her talk and then we'll just listen and we'll get our own masterclass. So let's just tie this back to the Shama Hyder discussion, because what you're doing is so relevant for us as business leaders to understand. You're the next generation client for us. You're the next generation leader that's going to shape how business communicates from here on out. Right, Erin? I mean, what do you think about my perspective on this?
Yeah, I mean, we may know digital, but we really, it's always the younger generation who's schooling us. I mean, because we know only so much. We can use wisdom, right? We have the experience and the wisdom behind it, but you guys have the tools and the knowledge and the know-how, what's making people click, how to drive this stuff, how to work this. And so we can just help guide from a old person's perspective.
Exactly. So let me start off with a stat that I thought was really interesting that Shama had thrown out there in the very beginning. She said that in the digital age, because we have the accessibility of the internet to do research on our own, she says that a buyer is 66% done before they talk to the company, meaning the sales process isn't always having, from a sales perspective, to be, hey, we have to explain who we are or what we are. The odds are high that client already knows who and what you are. They're looking for the other stuff, the intangible stuff. And the second part that I thought was interesting, she said that that if they do their homework, they're most likely to go with you. Or if they don't do it right away, they will do business with you within the next 2 years. Erin, you and I are in business and we are always trying to get things done quicker, sooner or later. But I think with your past experiences, is that something that are you seeing more of it now than you did 3 years ago?
Well, yeah, even even I would say, God, I don't know how long it's been. 15 years ago, I started my first business now. But I remember then, I put so much work in at the beginning, and not that I stopped working, but I remember I would get phone calls 3 years later. Hey, so-and-so told me about you and recommended you and all this stuff. And I would just be like, I have no idea who you're talking about, but I'm going to take the business. And so that was a lot of, not even in the terms of the digital age, right? It was in terms of networking and more old school. There was some digital, but I did also find that too about the homework. I would show up to people's houses, and it wasn't that this was the first time they knew anything about me. They were reading my blog. That's how old it was, but they were reading my blog, and that's how they got to know me, through my blog. And that's what drove business 75% of the time. It was, I read your blog, I love you, I feel like I know you. And that is just only tenfolded now, because back then, Facebook was just getting started. It wasn't a business tool at all. I had a pet Tyrannosaurus Rex too during this time. But it was, it's so different, but there's so much opportunity now to really let people get to know you. And so when it is that time to close, I hear the story all the time with podcasts. I heard your podcast and you've given me so much valuable information and helped me with my business so much. I have to hire you. It's when you're doing content and social right, you can really seal the deals, and they do know that they do want to do business with you. It's just a matter of, like you said, Syya, making it happen.
Right. So in that note, then, if as we are developing these types of content that we're hoping is going to be evergreen enough, podcast being one of them, self-congratulatory comment there, but she talked about the importance of being authentic versus being polished. So let's talk about this, because Harley, you have a Twitch stream, you are doing podcasts, you are doing these interviews. How much do you care if you're watching and you're learning from someone like us? Let's say you watch me and Erin at some point. Do you really care if we're polished or not? Or do you just want us to say it, wherever we are in whatever state that we're in?
Yeah. So personally, what I've seen from a lot of other streamers, a lot of other organizations, and even, big organizations, tier 1 organizations like, G2, Cloud9, I truly feel authenticity is number one, right? Even more so than being polished. You can have a golden trash bag, or you can just have the plain old trash bag, right? But if the plain old trash bag, is better, it's more hefty and it can actually hold the trash versus, a golden trash bag, I'd rather have the hefty trash bag, right? So authenticity for me is number one, especially when I'm streaming and, talking to clients and even just talking to my community. They really care about authenticity, and something that I've seen in my generation, definitely Gen Z, we care about authenticity. We like to hold people to their standards and what they're talking about, and you can see this a lot with, political shifts even. My generation is definitely a very authentic 100% generation. So I feel that taking a B2C marketing approach and really engaging with your community and showing your true colors is going to be number one, especially in the future, because if you're not showing your true colors and, you're just polishing yourself and then you make one mistake and it's really out of context that you wouldn't do this, a lot of fans or, the community and the support would be very taken back by it. But if you're already authentic, the community already understands how you interact with everyone else, how you are as a gamer, how you even are as a business, right? They're not going to be too taken back if you, do a launch, right? Let's say you do a limited time drop with an apparel company, right? But you've never done limited time drops before and you're a tech company. People are like, why are you doing an apparel drop? You're Apple, right? But if you're already authentic and the community understands how you are, how you think, how you interact, then they're going to feel definitely a lot more accustomed to, certain things releasing.
Wow.
See, and I think there's a line too. I think, I don't think authenticity and polished is a mutually exclusive thing. I think you can be very authentic and still be polished, but I think it's the format you're producing your content where you have to be important. I think that's why live video can be so terrifying. It's so invigorating.
Definitely.
You have this permission to screw up. I know I've said words when Periscope was really big. I built a big following over there, and I would I'd say a word, and then I would say, I don't even know if that's a real word, and that's who I am, and that's on the fly, right? I may be talking to you, and I may make up a word. I try not to, but I'm not perfect. However, when you're producing like a YouTube video that's more polished, or you're doing a B2B campaign or something, you do have to polish that. That's not to say you can't storytell and share your authentic self story, but I feel like you do have to polish it more before you put it out to the world.
No, I 100% agree on that. I just definitely feel that in this day and age with, Twitch, really overtaking, these are live streams. These people, 100%. There is no filter. There is no polish, right? No matter how polished they make their backgrounds or how polished, they have their beautiful overlays, no matter what, it's still them in their true form. And that's also why a lot of sponsors are very, very scared, trying to work with these people, because one mess up from a streamer or a gamer, and in an unpolished environment and in a raw, authentic environment, that company can look really bad. So
Right.
I definitely see downsides and upsides to authenticity, but also I see authenticity as, okay, this is the true person. I already know what I'm going to be getting into, even in like B2B deals and campaigns, working with other people and other companies. If they already know how you interact and how you are as a person, I feel that they'd be more inclined to work with you rather than, some toxic, nasty person. Right. So I think authenticity is crucial, especially in the future. And like I said, with my generation, of course.
So shout out to Andrew Deutsch. Nice to see you, and thanks for joining. I love that he said you can't polish a turd; it's still a turd. Right. And I think it goes back to content too. You could have the most beautiful overlays, but if you're not speaking of anything that doesn't resonate, has no value, has no emotional connection, that's also, I think, where I think there's a frustration point for people, especially like, I hate to say it, Harley, but older folks. Sometimes we feel like this type of interaction, posting on social media, has a falseness to it. It rings a little bit false. So, okay, so we've overcome this, you guys. As business leaders, we're going to say, I'm going to build my personal brand. I'm going to double down. I'm going to embrace social media and all the different platforms across. Shama said, if you're going to do that, you better be freaking consistent and have the discipline to maintain that cadence. So, Erin, again, I know you've been so good about that. What is your perspective on that? How important is consistency and cadence?
It's super important. You sometimes feel like you're in a dark hole, and it can be, or you're talking to a dark hole, just a black hole, nobody's listening. But you have to realize that people are watching, and because there are so many people that start and never finish. There are so many people that get out there and start building momentum and fall off the face of the earth. So you can't expect people, just because you have 5 podcasts out there, they're like, okay, is this person going to be around for 10? Are they going to be around for 50? Are they going to be around for 500? And why should I care until they get to a certain point? So I've seen tipping-ish point, and it's going to be dependent. I know she even said a year or so. She's 3,000, she said, in the VIP room of YouTube. That's a tipping point in YouTube. 3,000 videos in. That's commitment. But again, it's because it's a very limited number of people who actually get to that consistent number of 3,000. But I tell people, like, give it to at least 30. That's where I see a tipping point start on the pot. And again, that's going to depend. There's going to be some factors behind that, and I would even give it more, but you've got to go in for the long haul. People are watching you. They may not be commenting. They may not be, super stoked because you published your first episode or your video, whatever it is, or did your first Twitch live, right? Well, only 5 people showed up. Well, you have to take time to build. It's so crucial. I can't stress it enough.
No,
Harley?
definitely. I remember. Well, I remember even starting my organization. The first, even to get to 100 followers. Even on one platform, it's very, very hard. But consistency is key, and that's where I even saw a lot of smaller and upcoming amateur organizations. They were on the brink. They were so close to making it. And I started right when they started. And 3 months later they fell off. And this is how it is with any business. It's a race with any business. You have all these, let's say, competitions, or like tech startup competitions, right? And only 1 or 2 are actually going to make it out because of consistency. How much work do they actually put in? Is there a drive there? And even a drive, what I've seen, even in esports, people are like, oh, I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to be a millionaire. You're not in esports for the money, and you're not really for any business. This was always something that bothered me, is for any business, if you're there for the money, you're never going to make it, right? If you have the passion and the drive and the want, because you actually enjoy seeing your organization like succeed, and you actually want to, do something and make the world a better place. I know it sounds cliche, but then money will come afterwards. And I've heard so many people and so many amateur organizations and even younger kids come up to me, hey, I want to start an organization. What do I do? Where do I start? And consistency is key. Never give up. And I've been in those dark holes where I'm like, I'm not going to make it. It's over. I'm not going to get anywhere. Right. But I just keep pushing every single day. I still haven't even hit the 10K mark on one social media. Right. I'm on 8K in one and 5K on the other, right? But it doesn't matter about size, right? It doesn't matter about size of followers and numbers. You know, you can be a really tiny streamer and make the biggest impact, right? So for me, it's how much do you know, how much passion do you have? How much are you going to actually go out there and change the industry, you know, and what do you actually want to do, you know, and accomplish that goal? So consistency and rhythm is key, right? So never giving up is 100%.
Erin, she's 17 years old. I feel like I'm going to cry right now. I mean, Harley, I'm really so excited that we're talking about this because you hit a couple different concepts in that few seconds that you just talked. And the consistency part is huge, but you mentioned something where it didn't matter the number of quote followers you had, you know, those types of metrics. It's the impact that you have around it and the passion around doing something that will eventually translate into monetization. Now, Joseph Barasanzi, who's our money guy at GLO, is cracking me up because he's mentioning Loverboy, which is there's a song called "Working for the Weekend." So I apologize for digressing, but you have to admit, though, as a business leader and a business owner, there has to be a component of making money. I mean, we could love and have causes that we are 100% about, but there is still a bottom line. So let me ask you this, because you're in the esports industry, and esports is extraordinarily sensitive to making sure that there's a social, you know, that your business has a social impact or some kind of mission that you're tied to. How are you looking at that and balancing out? Because you do have to still make money.
Oh, exactly. But for me, I understand that money is so important, right? And I know to go anywhere, you have to make money, especially in a business format. But my train of thought, my thought process is, okay, I'm caring about the business first, the people first. Money's going to come. You know I do have charts of, okay, what are our revenue streams? How much money can we make? You know, but if you're there for the money and just purely there for money, going there just purely for monetization, and this is for me starting any business, you know, if I'm just there for the money, it's not going to come. No matter how hard you chase money, right? It's just not going to come, right? I put the business first, the product first, right? Before anything. Everyone's like, oh, it's the quality of marketing over the quality of the product, right? I'm a little backwards. I think it's the quality of the product over the quality of the marketing, right? You know, you can have the best product in the world. People are then going to start talking about it. You know, you could have, let's say, the best gaming chair, right? And you could have really, really bad marketing, right? But if your gaming chair is amazing, people are going to talk. People are going to do the marketing for you, right? So for me, I'm going to do quality of product over quality of marketing. And that's the same thing with money, right? I'm going to do the quality of the product, the presentation over making money. Because like I said, money's going to come, right? Money will come. You know, as long as you know what your revenue streams are and what your goals are in those revenue streams, that's fine. You know, it's, you want to overachieve what you promise, right? And if you just overachieve what you promise, you know, you're I believe it's under deliver, overachieve, right? So you give them, here's what I can give you, right? I think that's what it is.
Under promise, over deliver.
Under promise, over deliver. Yeah. So my apologies.
We got it.
I know the saying. It's right in the back of my mind, right? Under promise, over deliver, and that's the same thing I take to business, right? I'm going to under promise myself with a little bit of capital, right? But I'm going to over deliver because it will, like I said, it will come in time, you know. So work with what the smallest amount that you can, and things will start piling up.
So I could talk to you all freaking day long, Harley. But I want to be respectful. I do want to talk about the brands, okay, because there's a lot of businesses that are looking to make investments into certain industries, want to promote their brand. Maybe they have an amazing product, okay? The chair, for example. Now, you're esports specific, so I'll just pick on esports. So tying back to the authenticity, and if you could give a recommendation to brands as they try to go, like non-endemic brands, okay?
Yeah.
To enter into a space, how important is their messaging and their alignment with the community to be received well into the community? Do you know what I'm saying? As far as if you're maybe know that esports is into social responsibility.
Yeah.
What is your recommendation for a non-endemic brand to ensure that this movement is considered authentic?
Yeah. So for a lot of non-endemic brands, I've spoke with Nuo brands. They own Expo, they own Yankee Candle, right? I think any non-endemic brand, if you can find a way to tie your brand into esports, however it may be, then it can feel authentic, right? My idea with Yankee Candle, when I was talking with Nuo brands, I was like, look, Yankee Candle does not translate into gaming at all, right? It like Yankee Candle, what gamer is going to have a candle in their room? Like none, right? And I was like, look, here's what you can do. If you take Yankee Candle, right? Now think about it. You got to market it a certain way. Gamers' rooms, they do tend to stink, right? People sit in their rooms for like 12 hours a day, sitting there gaming, right? And like showers are just like unheard of for some people, right? I was like, so you take the Yankee Candle, you market it as a way, you market it as a land smell. At a land, there's a very specific smell of like kind of bleach, because they have to clean the place before they go there. But a lot of gamers love that smell, right? And I was like, okay, you take Yankee Candle, you make a gamer line, right? You make it smell like they're at a land center, and maybe, some in their brain. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm nothing, right? When it comes to science and medicine, but maybe something in their brain triggers them to play better, right? So you can sit there and be like, oh, it's performance enhancing. It'll make your room smell better. So that way you don't stink while gaming, and, your mom, your dad, your girlfriend, your boyfriend won't, sit there and be like, oh, it stinks when they come in the room, right? So I think a lot of non-endemic brands, in order to get into the gaming space, for it to feel authentic, I feel that they definitely have to tie in, to the gaming space, somehow relate their product to a gamer, right? IKEA, right? They didn't have any, gaming line or branding at all. They were a non-endemic brand, but actually about a month ago in China, they released their gaming line, right? With furniture just specifically built for gaming, right? So though they may be a non-endemic brand, they were able to tie their brand with something in the esports industry, right? Esports is its own economy, right? It's its own little ecosystem of things, right? So if you're able to tie your brand as a non-endemic brand into the gaming industry, go for it. Take the chance, take the leap, right? What I want to do, and what I'm actually doing right now, is I'm integrating ethical hacking into gaming. It doesn't make any sense, right? No one sees, tech and hacking into gaming, right? Well, in ethical hacking, in pen testing, there's these things called CTFs, right? It's capture the flag. So a bunch of, network security guys will go into these CTF competitions and they'll go there and play. But no esports organization has came in and have their own, has their own CTF team and go and compete at these events. And these are big events, right? Me being from the Cyber Patriot realm and being a team leader there, I was like, why not take a CTF team, make our own, and go into these events, right? Let's tie it into, pen testing and network security, because in the gaming world, you have modders, you have hackers, people that want to break the game for their own enjoyment, right? You can really tie this in. And that's why I was even one day talking to CrowdStrike about, I was like, look, guys, why don't you come in and, work in gaming, like a network security firm? Well, you should come in here, start offering deals to these, organizations like Activision, and say that you'll protect their network for them, but more on the game server scale, right? For individual games, not, okay, we'll just protect your company itself from outside vulnerabilities, and right. Outside people. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways non-endemic brands can get in the space. And really, it's just, how do you tie it with gaming? And if you can, go for it.
I my cheeks are hurting so bad right now. Like, Harley, I'm so impressed with you. So our time is up. And like I said, we can talk all day. And you're in Germany. By the way, she's in Germany talking to us and hasn't gotten, how many hours of sleep have you gotten?
We're on 3 right now.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, Harley, I absolutely want to keep this conversation going. And I so wish you for so much more success coming down the pipe. For those that want to learn more from you and hear your opinions and perspectives and learn more about BearClaw, for example, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, you can get a hold of me on multiple different platforms. My Twitter is BearClaw Harley, at BearClaw Harley. You can go on LinkedIn, type in my name. You can reach me out on LinkedIn. And if you want to send me an email, it's harleyparks@bearclawesports.co.
That's awesome. And Erin, let's wrap things up here. What's up with GLO?
So all of this is because of GLO, Global Leaders Organization. Syya and I are the co-chairs of Dallas, if I can get that out. So of course, we'd love for you to join as a premium member. We've got a buy one, get one. So come and join us and bring a partner, a coworker, whatever. You can bring them on for free or just a strategic partner. Really cool deal. So head over to withglo.com.
Excellent. And that is, I think it ends April 1st, right? So definitely take advantage of it now while you can, because I heard, rumor has it, the pricing may go up. So if you have the opportunity to even offer it to a client, for example, definitely make that investment and split costs if you really want to with your buddies, whatever makes sense. But content like this is what drives the Global Leaders Organization and the relationships we have. And you have access to cool people like Harley. Oh my God, Harley, you're amazing. So next week, we have Rand Stagen. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Stagen Leadership Academy. So he will be talking about elevating the humanity through business. So it's all about the long-term personal development and relationships to make a positive impact. So go to withglo.com and register. It's free. You can become a basic member for free to check it out, and you'll have access to content like this, and obviously make the investment and become a member. And we will have local chapter meetings for those that are around, and for those that are online, we have the full membership as well. Ooh, that's so much. Harley Parks, I'm so thankful and I'm so excited for your future. Thank you for joining us. Erin, any final thoughts?
Thanks for having me.
No, I have to run to another meeting. So thank you.
All right, guys. I think that calls it for us. And thank you for joining us for the Afterglow Recap podcast.